What do we mean by child protection? Child protection is any efforts to prevent and respond to child abuse, such as neglect, exploitation, and violence against children. When we say child protection, it's not only to prevent, but we have to also respond to child protection risks, such as providing necessary support to the children to ensure their safety and safeguarding and well-being. So when we see here, we have actors responsible for child protection intervention in the country. Primarily, we see the government is here, who takes the primary responsibility of protecting children, which means other sectors are also to contribute for the child protection activities in the country, such as local aid organizations, international organizations, and communities also provide contribution in the government commitment to end violence against children in the country. Thank you, Lucas. Next slide. Okay, here we have forms of violence against children or child abuse, such as physical abuse, which is physical harm to a child or unable to prevent physical harm to a child. So hitting, shaking, throwing, poisoning are under physical abuse of a child. The second one is emotional abuse, which involve or telling a child, like saying they are worthless, unloved, or inadequate, and they have no value without meeting the needs of adults. In this case, emotional abuse may include not giving the child the opportunity to express themselves, as well as deliberately silencing a child. This is considered as emotional abuse, as well as overprotection or limitation of a child to explore by themselves or to participate in normal social interaction could be emotional abuse or considered as emotional abuse. When we see sexual abuse, includes any activity such as physical contact, kissing, rubbing, touching outside of clothing a child is sexual abuse, as well as forcing a child to take part in any sexual activities, whether or not the child is aware of what's happening. This is a sexual abuse. When we see negligence, it's a failure to meet the basic needs of a child, such as physical or psychological needs of a child, could be considered as neglect. Neglect may occur during pregnancy, and once a child born, neglect may involve unable to facilitate or give the basic needs of a child, such as food, clothing, and shelter. This is considered as neglect. Thank you. Next slide, Lucas. So we have here 8 protective environments to create safe environment for children. So we need to work on these 8 elements, and we will see how we are contributing and working to achieve all these 8 elements. How we are contributing to the government commitment, how we are supporting the legislation, policies, and implementation of laws regarding child protection, working on the norms and values of the community to change restrictive and harmful traditional practices regarding children and women within the community. Open discussions. We created platforms for children and government and adults to discuss children, to view their concerns freely and discuss the issues with adults, as well as we empower the children, not only the community members, family, parents, but also we empower children to know their rights and responsibilities. We will see in the next slide how we are contributing to these 8 elements. Thank you, Lucas. Next. So we start from our organization, how we are committed on child protection. So we have a safeguarding policy in our organization. So every staff is aware of the safeguarding policy, not only our staff, but also our local partners have their own safeguarding policy and procedures. So every staff is aware of and committed to the safeguarding policy during their interaction and any intervention made by our staffs, our LPs, long-term, short-term partners during our programs and projects. So not aware of the safeguarding policy, but also signed a code of conduct to be abided by, which behaviors are bad, which behaviors are good during our interaction with our target group and people and children. So we have also assessment. Once a year, we assess self-tool. We have a self-tool to assess our safeguarding policy, to measure which international standards we have achieved, which international standards we did not achieve. So we're able to plan accordingly to meet international standards in our safeguarding policy, as well as we have refresher training to our staffs on safeguarding policy, so everyone is aware of and abide by this policy. At the same time, we have also a reporting channel. Everyone is aware of the reporting channel, so any incidents are reported to the person or the focal person here in ChildFund. So after the reporting, there are response mechanisms, support us any psychosocial support to the victim or to anyone who report the case. Thank you, Lucas. Next slide. So how we are intervening to end violence against children within the community. So we applied Inspire strategy, which is globally approved and launched on 2016. So mainly the vision of Inspire strategies to enable the government work in collaboration with community and civil society organization to end violence against children. So it also aims to countries to achieve sustainable development goal by 2030. So we applied this international globally approved strategy to end violence against children. So here is the abbreviation, the implementation of laws and policies, how we are contributing to child-focused laws and policies within the country, norms and values, how we are intervening to end restrictive, harmful traditional practices within community, as well as how we are creating safe environments. We will see in detail all those interventions based on this Inspire strategy. Thank you, Lucas. So we have here the implementation of laws and policies. So we are, as a ChildFund, actively participated in the development of National Children Policy on 2017. So provide a leading development of the implementation framework of the National Children Policy, as well as widely introduce the National Children Policy to different government sector offices because they are our stakeholders. So through trainings and capacity development, we widely introduced the National Children Policy, so they're able to take the document as a reference during their intervention on ending child violence in the country. So at the same time, ChildFund collaboratively with Federal Supreme Court has developed a drafted document such as to provide free legal aid service for children in contact with justice in the country. At the same time, currently, ChildFund is providing financial and technical support to government sector offices, including child parliament and child clubs, to ensure that there will be a meaningful child participation in the country. So we're providing technical support and financial support to the in the revision of child parliament guideline. Thank you, Lucas. So norms and values here, this approach is focused on changing the adherence to restrictive and harmful gender and social norms through community mobilization programs. So every year, ChildFund has events to celebrate events with different stakeholders, including government stakeholders, and through the events addresses different messages to end violence against children, such as April 30 is International Day to end corporal punishment. So during celebration of this event, ChildFund in partnership with schools, signing petition to end or to prohibit corporal or physical punishment of children, because it's taken as a one way or a method of disciplining a child in Ethiopia. So has transmit such kind of message through medias and campaigns to end against corporal punishment. So different distribution of information brochures to households regarding how and where to report cases regarding child abuse, because many of cases are unreported or hidden because of the community member or the family doesn't know where to go, how to contact the focal person in the local district to report cases. So in order to minimize the gap or to solve these gaps, ChildFund has distributed brochures to households to create awareness among the community member how and where to report child abuse cases. We have panel discussions in different times to address child violence in partnership with government offices and other like-minded organizations. Every year we celebrate Day of African Child, June 16th. So every time we address child protection issues, risks to aware the community and other government sector offices to improve their child protection mechanism within the country. Thank you, Lucas. So with regard to creating safe environment, like different, as I mentioned earlier, we have discussion forums, campaigns, meetings, trainings with community members through our local partners, as well as volunteers, community-based child protection officers, and government officers, including law enforcement bodies, on child rights, impacts of child abuse, to increase their knowledge and as well as to improve their intervention regarding child protection. We not only provide training or capacity building training to government office or volunteers or community representatives, but also we empower parents and caregivers to be aware on the negative impacts of child abuse, exploitation, violence, and how to respond and report on any child abuse cases. In this approach, we also empowered school clubs, strengthened school clubs and child parliaments to empower them to know their rights and responsibilities and to be one of the stakeholders in child protection intervention by ChildFund. So we have facilitated different platforms such as intergenerational dialogue to create open discussion between children and parents, as well as we provide different capacity building trainings to Bureau of Women, Children, Social Affairs representatives on case management, referral strategy, as well as the Inspire strategy to improve their services to children in the city. Thank you, Lucas. With regard to parents and caregivers, as I mentioned earlier, they are empowered through different trainings, especially on parenting skill, as well as impacts of child abuse on spot, as well as home-to-home visits by our local partners, volunteers. So they are checking on spot on the situation of the parents and children during home visits. So caregivers received different trainings on this case, as well as health-related training for first-time parents, which contribute to the betterment of health care of children. So our caregivers and parents received different empowering trainings for which improved or betterment on child protection or caring of their own child. Thank you. So income generating activity, this approach also focused on empowering the caregivers and parents. So mainly aim to improve the livelihood of enrolled children and their families. So through our local partners, different in-kind and cash supports are provided to their families to start their own small businesses and generate income, as well as beyond generating income, they're able to improve the nutrition status of their household and children. So those families provided with IG or in-kind, in-cash support are able to bring income, additional income to their household, as well as they are encouraged to establish a village saving and loan association, mainly women. The members are women, so they during the spot or during their regular meetings, we're able to provide different trainings like create awareness on gender-based violence, gender equality, which helps them to be aware of decision making in the household, equal decision making in the household. So at the same time, we're able to provide trainings to those women during their regular meeting on a VSL. VSL is a Village Saving and Loan Association, where women encouraged to save and loan money in that association for a specified period of time. Thank you. So with regard to response service provision, at different times we're able to provide material support to centers to provide services to survivors like abused children and women. So at the same time, we equipped child-friendly courtroom to which support children during testimonies without any adult interference. As I mentioned earlier, government stakeholders were equipped with different capacity building trainings such as case management and psychosocial first aid trainings provided to these child right committee members, which they are directly have link with the community and the spot to respond to any cases or any child abuse cases. So they have a link directly to the community. So we provided training to these CRC committees to provide services in professional and timely manner. Thank you, Lucas. So with regard to education life skill, children able to attend school through providing school fee, school uniform, and other materials for needy children, as well as school clubs and child parliaments were also supported through various trainings, because our targets are not only government office or child protection committees, but also we empower children through different life skill trainings to have a say or to create meaningful participation of children in any activities or intervention regarding child protection. At the same time, government ECD centers were materially supported and extension made to accommodate more children in the community. At the same time, our local partners also provide school fees, ECD school fees, because it's very expensive to send children to private ECD centers. So our LPs provide school fee payments for these needy children to enroll in the ECD centers. Thank you. So we have here what are the main reasons for child violence in Ethiopia. We'll see that the first reason is poverty, the economic situation of the dwellers or the parents or caregivers is a main factor for child violence or unable to provide the basic needs of the children. So it's one main reason in our country, as well as children who live out of the city. Promised or looking for a better opportunity in the city, so they are brought by relative or anyone else in the city. But we will see the picture at the next slide. So children brought to the city for better opportunity, but they are unable to get education or they are exposed to different forms of violence in the city. The other one is lack of awareness among community members, parents, and caregivers. They underestimate the impact of child abuse. So maybe they don't have any knowledge about the impact, the short and long-term impacts of child abuse. So one of the reasons is lack of awareness. Drug and alcohol is another factor for child violence in Ethiopia. Family separation is also factor contributing to child violence in Ethiopia. Brokers to domestic child labor, like those children brought from rural or nearby towns are exposed to brokers. So brokers are one of the reasons in the city for child labor exploitation. The other is inadequate social services and rehabilitation service for those exposed to different forms of violence, as well as quick enforcement of the law, especially on child abuse cases. These are the main factors contributing to child abuse in Ethiopia. Okay, thank you, Lucas. We received this picture from one of local districts in Addis Ababa during our mapping, child protection mapping. These children are brought from nearby town. They are exposed to more than 8 hours. They are working more than 8 hours a day without any adequate food, no access to education, and they don't have any basic facilities during their stay in this situation. So the community volunteers reported this case to the nearby government local districts. So during our mapping, we are found out that they just hand over this picture to us. Thank you, Lucas.
Thank you, Lidiya. This is so important to make sure that we are aware of all the actors that are implied within this approach, within this process, and all the importance as well of the community. And that is also why we wanted to have today with us the local partner, Fido, who is working within the community. And they're going, Salomon and Andualem, to tell us a bit more about their activities in the field with the children, but with the other actors that are part of this whole process. So, Salomon and Andualem, I hand it to you.
Okay, thank you. I will try to present and finalize in 15 minutes time. FIDO, as you know, is a local organization established in 1986 and operating for the last 35 years. And it is one of the local partner closely working with ChildFund Ethiopia to create a safe and healthy living of children. It is established with a vision to see a self-reliant society in which children's and women's rights are respected. Since its establishment, child protection is one of the major area of the organization and have been undertaking different activities in addressing child protection and ensuring the rights of children. Please. As a local partner organization, we have been undertaking and contributing different interventions especially through the support of ChildFund Ethiopia in our operational areas. Especially, we have been engaged to create the awareness of the community on child violence. We have different sessions, dialogue sessions with the community members at the grassroots level. So we organize different discussions, experience sharings on how to promote the issue of child protection. We have also coffee ceremony, especially at the grassroots community level, at the district level. We have volunteers who facilitate coffee ceremonies in each 15 days. So these volunteers convey the issue of the topic of child protection to the parents, especially for female and male parents, on how to protect, how to give advice for their children, how to identify and detect early problems from children, and also how to ensure that their children are safe during their visit to schools and while they return to home. So these are very important way of conveying information for the families. And the other issue is that currently we intensively using the local media, especially the radio and TV program. There are known and non-TV programs which have wider public audience. So through the use of local media like EBS and the Ethiopian TV, ETV, and the EBS. We are promoting the issue of the child violence and how to the community to give importance for protecting children. So we are confident to reach wider public community through the local media channels. And the other area we have been actively engaged is that we establish and strengthen child protection structures at community level. These community child protection structures are really important to create a system to sustainably address child violence issues. So in those child protection structures, we actually facilitate capacity building trainings on how to report, on how to provide different kinds of service, on how to timely identify and detect child protection or violence issues. So these child protection structures are really the corner of our child protection interventions in our operational area. We also build capacity building for law enforcement bodies, especially because these child protection structures and the committees are comprised from the, Women and Children Affairs Office. There are police structures, and there are also beneficiary children and the parents in these child protection structures. We frequently capacitate them on different topics. The picture you see is that the police who are participating in this child protection structure. So we have been organizing different capacity building trainings for the police, for children, and the Women Affairs Office to really sustain the intervention of addressing the child violence issues in our operational area. Recently, we also become acquainted with new approach, especially there is coaching boys into men. We call it CBIM. This approach is it is a 12-week curriculum-based session. It is implemented in different target schools, which helps us to really bring school boys to stand and protect their peers, their colleagues, especially girls, from any kinds of violence in the school as well as in the community. Other than the CBIM, we have also new curriculum. It's called the Empower. It is given for about 8 weeks curriculum, only given for women on how to physically protect themselves from any kinds of violence and other kinds of physical and harassment in the school and in the community. So through the use of this new approach, really we have been seeing really encouraging results in the protection of girls, especially school girls, from violences. We have also been producing child protection code of conduct, which is new to in our operational area, even to the Addis Ababa area. We designed and produced child code of conduct in the form of booklet. We printed it and distributed to all our target schools. It helped to on how to school children, especially school girls and boys, to protect themselves. Especially there are cases that teachers and other school administrations, even the adult children, to perpetrate and create a condition of child violence in the school compound. So this helped school girls to report and accuse and get the timely response from the school community members. This is taken as exemplary, and the Addis Ababa City Administration take it as innovative and started to replicate it in other sub-city, in other districts, in the other parts of Addis Ababa. So these are the main areas that we have been implementing. Another area is that we have been engaged in producing different kinds of policies, like we have the safeguarding policy, child protection policy, feedback and response mechanism guideline. We have sexual harassment policy. All these policies are developed in-house and have been really introduced to all our staffs and the volunteers, which helped to promote our cause of protecting children from any form of violence issues. We have also complaint and reporting mechanisms. We have different site or project offices at different areas. So we have a focal points at each of our project sites. So whenever there is any form of violence against our beneficiaries or against any form of violence against children, there is a reporting mechanism. There are also focal points in each project areas, as well as at the head office. So we have a communication channel on how to submit the complaints and report mechanisms. So we finally link with the child protection committees established at the district level and try to follow up the process. As FIDO, we have really good operation and intervention in different schools in our target schools. We have gender school clubs. So these gender school clubs are capacitated through different kinds of trainings. They are given different materials, and we also strengthen their mini medias to reach the wider school community members, to disseminate the issue of child violence in the school. So it helped us a lot for promoting the issue of child protection issue. As Lidiya mentioned before, we have really also engaged in child parliaments. Especially we capacitate them through different kinds of capacity building trainings, so that they start to voice their concerns, especially to the relevant government bodies, to be heard and given solution for the crucial issues that are to be addressed. Next.
Sorry, Solomon, be a bit quicker, please. We're running.
Okay.
Time is
okay.
running. Thank you.
Okay.
No worries.
Okay.
Thank you.
So we also engage in celebration of different international events, especially child protection issues. We also engage in the advertising, public advertising on child protection using signboards, banners, posters, especially in public areas, in the roads. We have also been working closely with different partners like health facilities, women, children affairs, and other relevant stakeholders that we feel important for addressing child violence issues in our operational area. This is, for example, the picture depicts how the partnership established with the youth centers is providing counseling for one of our target girls. We have also about 275 volunteers operating in operational areas. These are the backbone of the organization who educate the community and also aware the community on how to prevent any form of violence in the community. Next. So, due to all our interventions, we have been really observing different kinds of results. So especially when we see the child protection committees, they have been really operating actively in each of the districts because they have been given different forms of capacity building trainings, and we have also working closely with them. So these child protection committees are helping to sustain the issue of addressing child abuse cases occurring in the community. The other issue that we are observing as a result is that there is now a better awareness of the community, the public, especially on different forms of violence against women and girls. So especially in our operational area, the community is well aware of the issue of child abuse and the violence. So these are the fruits of our intervention. The other improvement we are really observing is that increased involvement of protection school clubs. These school clubs are really actively operating even without the support of or the involvement of FIDO. So even we quit our intervention in those target schools, really they have already been capacitated through different kinds of support. So they are sustaining and enabling to protect child violence and abuse issues in the school. The major challenge still is that most of the abuse and violence we observe in the community have hidden in their nature, you know, especially there are different forms of abuse, especially girls or boys or children may be abused or face different forms of violations, but they are kept aside, and it is difficult for an abused child to come out and to come out and tell to his mother or her mother, or his parents or other structures, because they are not, they do not consider it as it is. For example, if you take the harassment in the school, it is the prevalent form of violence against children, but it's not considered as child abuse or violence. So most of them are hidden in their nature, and or they are not considered as violence or abuse. So these are the areas that we are currently working hard in, especially in the community as well as in the school. So it will be solved maybe in the near future. Next. Our future goal is that we really have been doing good, especially in the strengthening our child protection committees. So we will commit our own resources, especially to strengthen additional committee structures in different operational areas, so that our children living in environment is violence-free environment. We also plan for better partnership advocacy, because there are different partners operating at different level with different intervention areas. So it is important to partner with these like-minded NGOs or other advocacy initiatives or platforms. So we are really doing good in this area also. We also try to strengthen the referral and rehabilitation for survivors. Actually, this is the area that we are planning, especially to engage intensively, because especially many survivors have need to get different kinds of service. So it needs also, the collaboration and partnership with other referral service providing health centers. So we are planning to strengthen our work in this respect. Next.
Thank you very much, Solomon and Andualem, for this very important part as well, to show all the big work that is in progress in Ethiopia and in other countries, of course, but it's very important to be close to the community and all the actors, as we say during all this presentation. Now we would like also to talk with Belen, who is a former sponsor child in the sponsorship program in Ethiopia, and thank you to be here today, Belen. Maybe you can put on your video, and we have some questions for you today. Thank you, Belen. As a former sponsored child, you've been part of activities during your childhood with ChildFund. Can you tell us a bit more about what you've done in terms of activities, and especially maybe in terms of protection activities?
Okay, thank you. I was born and raised in the capital city of Ethiopia. When I mentioned that I live in a capital city, you may think that I live in a fancy and modern city, but which is not. Our village is densely populated area with low-income household. In general, the place is overcrowded. There are many children in this village. Since the lifestyle of our community is very deteriorating, they don't give attention for family planning and born children. All their attention is to get food for a day and chewing chat and drinking beers and other alcohols. As a child living in the situation by itself, kill your dreams. This harsh situation even goes to not finding a place to study even during your homework, because your parents are chewing chats and drinking alcohols with their friends at home. So this whole situation disfigure your goal and keep you in that poverty vicious circle. What I want to share you is that how child protection issue is important to overcome poverty and bring light for children. As enrolled child of Piro, I got a life skill training, the peer education session, the experience sharing, and well-furnished library, the scholastic material, the gift of my sponsor, the award session, the letter writing trainings helped me to achieve my goal. Let me tell you one ceremony. When I passed to 9th grade, I got excellent results, and FIDO prepared the award ceremony. And the participant of that ceremony was our community members. When my name mentioned at the stage, everybody was watching me. I'm very happy to receive the gift, the award, and most importantly, what I like is I get a recognition from my community. I was very happy at that moment. And after that, some parents sent their child to my home to help their children with their homework. So I was very happy. I got the recognition, and I'm so happy with that moment. The other thing, we take a life skill training during our when you start teenage. We got life skill and peer education session. After that, we try to share what we got from two other children who are not enrolled in this program. I got a friend, as Lidiya mentioned that, I remember her. She came from rural area of Ethiopia to work and help her aunt. And she's helping her aunt day and night, and she couldn't get time to study. She doesn't matter about this situation. What she needed was affection from her aunt, but she couldn't find it. When she turned to 40, the young boys around our village give her the attention and the affection what she lost from her aunt. So I try to see the changes in her behavior. So I try to share her what I get from from different trainings in the field. So I try to share her, and I try to tell her that she needs to big dream and to achieve it, and she have to jump the small obstacles from her journey. So I try to share her my knowledge, For the first time, she doesn't accept my advice. Rather than she prefers the affection and the care from the voice. I told her not to compensate what she lost from her aunt. To compensate it through process, she stopped the relationship and focused on her education. So we went to the nearby furnished library and we studied. Here we come, and she is a very good student currently. She's working in another NGO, and I'm very happy to change her life. This training is not supporting only me, also other children who need it. So we share it. So this situation can show you how child protection is important to achieve our goals.
Exactly, and we are also so proud of you because, yeah, you mentioned you were proud of yourself and all the good result you could do, and yeah, this is amazing things you're doing right now, and you're working yourself to promote protection within your community today. How it, I mean, you told us just before your story, but do you want to add anything else about your choice to become yourself an actor, a strong actor in your community?
Okay. Before that, let me tell you that I had a sponsor, as you see from the picture. She's at the right corner. She was a very good she was a very good and generous person I ever know. She supported me since I was I was 7 at the age of 17, and we share letters. She sent me postcards. She tell me about her life, her family, and that thing helped me to exchange letters, to develop my writing skill, even to know about other worlds. And she sent me money. As you see that picture, that I wear very beautiful dress. That she sent me money for my birthday, and my parents bought me that dress, and I remember it, and that's why I want to share this picture with you. And the other clothes is also bought by her money. And she taught me that to be a generous and sharing what we have. She doesn't work, by the way, she was a waitress. We don't have to be big. We don't have to work to share what we have. So I learned that from her. So I want to share what I have to others, and I want to help. As I told you, some people send their children to my home. I help them with all of my capacity. After that, I want to help this community in a very big way. So working as a social worker can give me a direction and give me a chance to work. So she was my encouragement to be here. So that's why I become social worker. Currently, the current generation is very lucky as compared to me. They got different trainings. As Solomon mentioned, that they got empower training, which help them to protect themselves from other influences and other actions. There are also a flattened training to understand themselves and help children. So I'm helping these children to dream big and help it to reach that goal. So I'm very happy to work as a social worker in this organization. I'm helping those children. I'm giving what I get. I'm sharing the light I got from my sponsors. So this is why I want to be a social worker. Thank you.
Thank you, Belen. It's such an inspiration for all of us here today, but also for the children you're working with every day. So thank you a lot. And talking about children, if you had anything to share with them today, what would you tell them?
As I always told them, I want to tell them that this situation, the current situation, will not stay for long. They have to, even if they dream and work, they will go throughout this situation. So I'm helping them to big dream, and I'm helping them to reach that. So I'm not giving, I'm just telling them and then sharing my experience and other experience. They are very, very fascinating. They dream very big, and I'm very happy to see this as a community worker. And the poverty cycle will be changed if we work and help each other. What we lost is that we don't help each other and we don't share what we have. So I'm telling them that to share what they have with their friends, with their neighbors. So together we can make a difference. That's what I already told them. And I always told them this thing. So togetherness will
will.
make a change in our life. Thank you.
Thank you so much.